in the course of writing, of working, very often I come up against things which are out of context. You know, there's a context, or if you like, the journey of the piece. I find that I can get in front of myself and I can think of certain things which are not to do with that moment, but maybe later, and as it were, pin them on a board and wait for them to get there. Yeah. And very often the board gets fuller and I never get to those bits. Yeah. And when I was asked to write Night's Black Bird, I said I could do it, but I didn't have a lot of time, and I would like to use a lot of material which I'd had. So, but then the idea of beginning in exactly the same place and ending in the same place was rather fascinating, because we have the idea of the metaphor of the journey. I mean, all music is journey, really. But there's a very nice thing in Paul Klee, the Swiss painter, and he talks about taking a line for a walk, and so you know, it shows just a simple line, and that's one aspect. But then he shows another one. It's a man with a dog on a lead, and he takes the dog for a walk, but the dog sort of smells in corners, and you know, so they're both making the same journey, but the experience and that's a sort of it was rather interesting, rather a fascinating notion, a concept.
And also, the central idea of Dowland is something you've been exploring since these two pieces.
Well, then Dowland wrote those wonderful pieces which you conducted, which are ostensibly all the same piece, the same harmonies, but with different. There are different realizations, are they not?
Yeah. So with the cry of Anubis. First of all, why tuba? I mean, why write a piece for tuba and small orchestra?
It's a nice idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I use the instrument in the opera, the second Mrs. Kong, as a sort of emblem of Anubis, and I sort of fell in love with the tuba. An orchestra is not very bass heavy, if you think of it.
Well, it's fantastic when when you got two tubas.
Yeah.
Like in the two pieces, which is something you did, I know, in Mask of Orpheus.
Yeah,
it gives an incredible underpinning.
Yeah. And a certain richness, and of setting off harmonics in, and use it. I just use sort of fifths or fourths or something, and I found that very sexy when I did that, and I've done that quite a few times, but there's no tuba. No, there's only one tuba in the crown. But the actual the identification of the lyrical aspect of the tuba is I never think has been exploited. That comes from the euphonium, you know, which has got that. I mean, the euphonium in the brass band is the cello, isn't it? Yeah. But the ordinary tuba still has that quality of and rather mysterious. So it's beautiful the way that it comes in that.
Yeah.
In playing my pieces, conducting them, what do you think the problems are? When I write an orchestral score, I want to hear everything.
Mm.
And if you write dense music like it is, the acoustic properties of an orchestra and it is, you know, some things cancel other things out. You know, clarity is a difficult thing.
But the way you write for orchestra, I mean, is incredibly practical. Because actually, if of course, the recording is a slightly false environment because things can be tweaked artificially. But actually, knowing that you have a score where if the players play what's written and grade dynamics in the way that you've asked them to be graded, then it will come out. You will hear perspective